I'm going to try not to talk too long because I see a lot of my colleagues here. But Anna made me think of history. Because one of the things that really disturbs me is, some of you know that we, I think everybody here is on it, that we have a letter that we've sent to the State Department. But I haven't sent it yet because we're trying to get more co-sponsored. I think everyone here is a co-sponsor. That basically talks about the COPs, the climate conference in Baku, and how we want to use it as an opportunity, the conference, to embarrass, if you will, Azerbaijan, because they're claiming that this is their opportunity to show the world how wonderful they are. In reality, they have all kinds of human rights violations, not only with regard to Armenians and the people of Artsakh, but for their own people, right? I mean, they have one of the worst human rights violations records with regard to their own Azerbaijani nationals. Yesterday in the Azeri press, there was a couple articles about myself and Ed Markey leading this letter, and it just went through this whole litany of how there were never any Armenians in Artsakh. Armenians have no history in Artsakh, and it just galls me, because one of the things that I did, I haven't been 20 times, maybe 7 or 8, I didn't lose track. But galls me is that we know that the Armenian presence in Artsakh is several thousand years old, right? One of the things I always do when I go is that I want to make sure I go to some of the monasteries to see the history. Dadivan, right, which is what, 900s, 10th century. Gandhazar, which is, I don't know, 13th century, and the list goes on, right? So anyone, in addition to that, you know that under the Soviet Constitution, and I know because this guy's talking about Soviet Constitution, who cares? But under the Soviet Constitution, which is the, which goes down to the various republics, the republics are supposed to guarantee the autonomy, at a minimum, of the oblasts that are within them, right? And so, whether it's the Russian Federation with what was the war in Chechen, or it's Artsakh in, surrounded by the Republic of Azerbaijan, or whatever it is, right? There's supposed to be a guarantee for those oblasts within the republic. So whether or not you think, I've always felt that Artsakh should be joined with Armenia, and I'll still take that position. But even if you go by the idea that the republics, have these oblasts or ethnic autonomous regions within, they're supposed to guarantee, and they're denying that it even exists today, right? Today. So it just galls me. But in any case, I will say this: history is long, and obviously, I feel very strongly that there's a right of return. I don't even want to talk about paying compensation, because there should be a right of return. You should be able to go back, right? And I may not see it. I may not see it, and maybe it's 10, 20, 100 years or whatever, but we're going back, right, is the bottom line. We're going back. And we have to make that clear under both international law as well as various conventions, Geneva Convention, whatever. Now, I don't want to keep talking, but I just want to say a few things. We're going to try to use this opportunity at the COPS Convention to say that we want the prisoners of war returned. We want the leaders of Artsakh that are imprisoned released. And all the other things that my other colleagues mentioned are certainly true about the fact that not only do we need more money for the people who are in Armenia and who need help, but we also want to make sure that we don't provide any more security assistance, military aid to the Aliyev regime, because they are a dictatorship that are hell-bent on using the military to achieve their goals. And one of those goals, in my opinion, is Armenia itself, right? I mean, we lost Yachevin, we lost Artsakh. They're clearly Aliyev's goal goal is to take the southern part of Armenia and have a link between the Turkish territory and Azerbaijan. And we have to stand up. I mean, Judy, I think, said it very well. She said, look, what happened, we all warned the State Department that this was going to happen a year ago, right? And I remember my conversation with Blinken where I said, you understand that if you don't take a stand and warn Aliyev that we can't go into to Artsakh and simply use the military means. And he said to me, oh, don't worry, this is like a day or two before the invasion. He said, oh, don't worry, we've already made arrangements and we've got an agreement now that we're going to reopen the Lachin corridor, we're going to reopen the access through Azerbaijan. And literally, I don't know if it was 24 or 40 hours later, they invaded. So, I don't know if it's naivete, I don't know what to call it, I don't know what to call it. The bottom line is the Armenian Caucus is determined to make everyone at the State Department and administration understand that no more weapons, no more help to Azerbaijan that can be used militarily, no sanctions that we'd like to see against the Aliyev regime and the oligarchs, right? And help for Armenia, whether it be military, managed aid, whatever. But the absolute right to return, that has to be the basic idea behind what we're up to. And I know we met with the ANC today. Thank you, so many of you, for going to meet with all of us. You have to keep it up. You have to keep this alive. And you have to make people understand that the future of not only Artsakh, but also of Armenia is at stake, and we have to be strong. So thank you so much.